Hello, this is Evan Ryderson, and I'm Midgame here, and today I'm going to go ahead and break down the results of the Level Up tournament that I hosted. That was like last Saturday as of the time of recording, and I'm just going to go down and break through all of the cool robot designs and strategies that I saw and how I think that you could implement them. I'm not quite sure how applicable all of this will be to MOA, which is upcoming. I'm sure some of it will be. We do have two teams here, Genesis and Hula Hooligans, that are going up to MOA. And some of the other teams did do quite well against these guys. As you can see, they ranked third and fifth, although both of them did make finals, one of them winning, the other one being tournament finalist. So I think that this was still a fairly competitive tournament, and especially some of the qualification matches at MOA will definitely have a lot in common to this. And then I think especially teams that are getting ready for the main season as that gears up, I think there's a ton that you can learn here, as this tournament was fairly competitive by like regular season standards, especially for early season events. Like every single team had an autonomous that at least hit sometimes. Decently competitive because most early season tournaments aren't going to have that. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe in order to please the YouTube algorithm, and let's get into it. All right, so the first thing that I kind of want to talk about is Auton, because that's just kind of what the match starts with. So Auton was kind of interesting this year. Point-wise, it was fairly important. Like, just by looking at the scores real quick, you can see a fair number of matches that were determined by a 20-point swing or less, which is what the Auton bonus is, as winning Auton versus losing Auton is 10 points to the other team versus 10 points to your team, so it's a 20-point swing. And if you look, like a good chunk of these matches had a 20-point swing. So Auton is pretty important for determining how well you're going to do in the tournament. So point-wise, I think it's quite important. However, this is definitely one of the more challenging autonomous periods we've had in recent years, especially for what I think will be the autonomous win point. Nobody got the autonomous win point in that tournament, and that's for a few different reasons. So I definitely think early season comps, you're really going to struggle to get the AWP. The first thing was match loading out of the tubes during auto. A lot of teams struggled with that. I think we had a couple of teams try, but I don't think I actually saw anybody do it successfully during the tournament. Maybe like a couple of blocks out in skills, but that's about it. I think part of the issue with that is lining up. Like if you have like a mech that goes under the blocks, if you don't hit it quite right, the blocks don't necessarily all fall out. So I think that was some of the problems there. And then also just timing wise, I don't think a lot of these teams had like super time efficient autos. They just didn't necessarily need the extra blocks to score. But that was one kind of issue, is getting the blocks out of the match loaders was definitely harder than anticipated, and we didn't have any team get 3 blocks out of the match loaders during auto. The other tricky part was scoring across multiple goals. I don't think we had any team scoring more than one goal during auto, so that's definitely something tricky. If you do want to get the AWP, definitely make sure you can get the blocks out of the loader and score in 2 different goals across the autonomous period. Now, as for scoring points, a lot of the teams, they would kind of start right here with their preload, and they would drive out to that 3 stack of their color. And that's what I think most teams are going to be doing early season, and some of the more competitive teams will probably add this on partway into their route. We didn't really have any teams rushing out for these blocks on the edge quite yet. I suspect you'll see some of that at MOA, but I don't think that early season for regular match play, you necessarily need to be doing that. But yeah, basically once they had those 3 blocks, they either did one of two things. They would either go and score in the center goals or go and score in the long goal. Now, the long goals I don't think are as good at a lower level, but I think they're better at a higher level of play. So let me just kind of break that down. So first of all, if you drive out, you can just turn and go and score in the center goals right away. Same thing on the other side right there. If you want to go for the long goals, you got to drive out, then you got to go over, and then you can score in the long goal. So that just adds an extra turn onto the movement. So it's going to be slightly less accurate. And I think I definitely saw that with the teams that just went for the center goal, their autons hit a higher number of times than the teams that went for the long goal. It's also quite tricky to line up with the goals. Some teams did have aligners for the long goals, which I think helped. But you have to be pretty precisely lined up, especially with those center goals, especially the top center one. The low goals are fairly easy just because you're scoring out your intake, and most teams had a wider intake. And I think they also kind of act like funnel the balls, because if you push them along the ground, you can kind of push them up. Whereas these goals, if you miss, the block falls down to the ground. Now, in terms of points, most of the time the Auton bonus was determined by who had the control bonus, not who scored more blocks. I think we maybe had just a couple of matches that it actually came down to who has more blocks scored and not the control bonuses. Which, yes, the control bonuses are affected by the blocks, but a lot of the times all the goals weren't being contested. So I think early season, especially getting those center goals is quite easy to, it's quite good to do because they're easier to score in, and you just can get one block in, and that guarantees you get the control bonus unless your opponents are doing something. You don't have to worry about getting them all the way down to the center. And a lot of the time, that just one auto. We only had a couple of scenarios where the team actually managed to get the blocks down into the control bonus on the long goals, which I do think is something you should be working towards later on in the season. And I think you'll probably see it at MOA too. Because if you can throw the blocks down there, or you just have enough blocks you can push them down, I think that's even better because the long goal control bonus is worth 10 points as opposed to just the 8 or 6 that these smaller goals have. Additionally, I think also just having your blocks in the long goal is probably better because they can fit more blocks and they're definitely more important to the overall match play. However, I still think getting a couple of blocks in the center goal is good during auto. A lot of people, myself included, thought that scoring in the center goal early on in the match was kind of useless because you could fairly easily just go and D-score, which is somewhat true. If the goal is full, it's very easy to just ram into it and send all the blocks falling out. But if there's just like one block in the middle, it's a bit harder to de-score. You definitely have to line yourself up, have your own block, and then push that through. And sometimes, most of the time, that'll push the other block out, at least one. However, that does still require your opponent to line up with the block at the end of the match in order to push that out. Which the thing is it's much easier if you have the block inside the center goal to protect it and not let them score than it is to have a block inside your intake and try and put it in the center goal. So getting it early on and then near the end of the match just trying to protect it instead of trying to capture it, I think is definitely worthwhile. I wouldn't spend most of the match fighting over it, but if you have it early on, I think that's definitely good. Just because it puts you in a slightly more advantageous position at the end of the match so that you're on the defense and not on the offense, which is definitely easier in this position. There are multiple times where a robot would try and line up to score, and they would get rammed, and basically you can just spin them around in a giant circle there. So I still think it's worth getting a couple blocks in the center goal, and they're quite easy. Like if you get a block in there, you don't have to worry about contesting the control bonus. Whereas with the long goals, you definitely need to make sure if you're going for the long goals that you get blocks down into the control bonus and have a little bit more force on your scoring mechanism. So I think that kind of wraps up the basics for auto. Low levels of play, center goal is definitely more important, but at higher levels, once you can reliably get multiple blocks down into the control bonus, I think that's the better play. Now, moving on to the start of driver control, there are a couple different strategies we saw. A lot of the teams, they would just go to the match loaders and load up on blocks, which I think is definitely viable. Because especially given how defense heavy this game is, I think just filling up on blocks, having a high capacity, so that when you do get the opportunity to score, when like the other team, maybe they're having a trapping call and they have to back off for 5 seconds, you need to be able to score as many blocks as you can in those 5 seconds. Or if they're on the other side of the field or whatever, you need to take advantage when you have the scoring opportunities. The other thing that I saw teams do was again push for the center goals. Just try and get one or two blocks in and get yourself the majority real quick. That way, so at the end of the game, you're playing defense instead of trying to capture them at the last second. Finally, the other thing that I saw teams do was de-score from the long goals. So let me open up the cat models here. This is a mechanism that I think every single team should have later on in the season. Something that can go in through these top slits right there. So you can kind of see there's that gap at the top of the long goals. You definitely need a mechanism that can go inside of those because there are tons of times during the match where like a bunch of teams would have blocks right there at the end of auto. And if you can just drive up and de-score all like 4 or 5 blocks that are exposed out, that's a really good strategy play. The other advantage of a D-score mech like that is you can also use it to like, if you have some blocks right there that didn't quite get pushed into the control zone, you can go behind them and then push them into the control zone. So that was really effective. And I think that's something you'll see a lot of teams do later on in the season. So I think those are kind of the three things that teams did at the beginning of the match. I think D-scoring is probably one of the best because if you can get that control bonus really early on and then have your partner who's loading up with blocks go over and fill up the long goal afterwards, I think that's a really good play. I think you could also do a mix and match of just both of you match loading and trying to get control of the long goals. I think especially later on in the season and probably at MOA, you'll see robots that are more competent that can probably like match load, quickly de-score, and then quickly go score. I think that's something you could see. I don't think at higher levels of play we'll see teams going for the center goal straight at the beginning of driver because they're probably going to be putting at least one or two blocks in during auto. And I don't think it's going to be worth it because as you see teams more capable of filling up the goals, most of the matches here were decided by control bonuses. Maybe about 25% of them were decided by blocks, but I think that number is going to go up later on in the season just as teams get better at getting blocks. Like almost all the matches had the control bonuses with at least one block in them here, but I think especially later on in the season, you're going to see the goals start to get more full. You're going to get teams that can line up on these center goals at the end of the match and reliably get like 7 blocks in them, or at least 6 blocks, because that last one can kind of be pretty easy to de-score. I definitely think the mid-game strategy is a lot of times so, you have like your center goal, a lot of times just pushing, trying to get control of that. And that's kind of the way most of the flow went. It was mostly just fighting over the center goal, playing defense. Defense was absolutely huge this game. You could definitely lock down an opponent's play and make it very, very hard for them to score. So I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go later on in the season. I definitely think you could see some robots like breaks, like Robot has had during Tipping Point. So basically you can't shove them around. I think that's something you'll probably see popping up and something I'm probably going to look into for my Vex U robots. But I definitely think you'll see some scenarios where robots are like breaking right there and just trying to control the center goals. I also think that having a color sort is really important for the mid game, especially as you go for the match loaders. There's those 3 blocks of your color, 3 blocks of the other color, and then like 12 of your match loads. I think it's really important to be able to get those other 3 of the other color out of your robot, because even if you score them in and like into long goals and you make sure they don't go into control bonus, for a D score stick that kind of sticks in through the top, they can now use those blocks in order to try and secure the top goal. So I'm not sure exactly how the meta of this game is going to evolve, but I think it's mostly fighting over the long goals and trying to get the control bonuses there. Then at the end of the match, just kind of the end game period, parking was something that teams did. It didn't decide most matches though. Like if you go ahead, we didn't have any double parks, but if you look, there's very few matches here that are going to be within 7 points score wise. So most of the time, the parks didn't actually matter. Yeah, just looking at the scores here real quick, we maybe had like the tie match, obviously, could have been determined by a park. And then we had one that was within like 5 points of each other, but all the other ones, park didn't matter. So out of like uh, maybe 10% of the matches, Park actually determined it. So I definitely think later on in the season, you're going to see teams more focusing at the end. And we did start to see this where one robot would go Park and the other robot would go and contest the center goals. I definitely think near the end of the season, as robots get better at scoring blocks last minute, you're going to see less parking and more fighting over the center goals. Because yeah, we didn't have any double parks. Those weren't effective. And the teams that were going for these center goals, oftentimes that is what determined the match. Because if I am red and I have 1 block in the center goal there, and then a blue robot comes along and scores one of their blocks in that center goal, first thing, the bonus swaps. So I lose 6 points, they get 6 points. I lose 1 block, they get 1 block. That's an 18-point swing. And if you look back at the scoreboard here, there's now probably a lot more percentage-wise of the matches that were within 18 points. Obviously, these are still going to be within 18 points. But then we have some other matches, like that's going to be within 18 points. That could be shifted. There's another one within 18 points. There's another one within 18 points. So that's almost going to be like there's more than double the matches that were determined by center goal control rather than parking. So I definitely think fighting over the center at the end is definitely the big play, not parking. And then we did have some last minute plays for the long goals, but those were a lot harder for robots to do quickly at the end, especially if like I'm red and I have a bunch of red blocks around the goal and I have red blocks on either side. So even if you could get like a D score in, you're just knocking blocks out of the goal. So you're not getting the control bonus, which is the most important part. So you would need to be able to go up, put some of your red blocks in, and push them down, which takes a fair amount of time and is quite susceptible to defense. So I think the other thing would be like if you maybe put one of your blocks up and then use the D-score mech, again, the other team is going to be blocking you, and it's fairly easy for them to block you. So the center goal fighting was definitely the bigger thing, especially because just by like these are a lot more volatile. Like blocks can fall out of them a lot easier. So it's more effective to do a last minute push for those rather than the long goals, because the long goal is much easier to defend. The other robot can also just sit at the other end of the long goal and you can't knock the blocks out. It's much, much harder to do that on the center goal, especially because most of the time they're not full. So even if like I'm red, I have 2 of my blocks in here and I sit at this end, the other robot can still go over there with 3 blue blocks, score them, and get the control bonus. So I think center goals are probably better to fight for at the end rather than the long goals. You want to just get yourself a substantial lead in the long goals during the match where you have the block goal full, very few blocks of the other team's color in there, and all the blocks around the control bonus are definitely my color. So I think that kind of wraps it up for just a brief analysis of what strategies I thought are good. I'm not going to get into too much into robot mechanisms, like whether or not you should do like a U shape or an S shape or just like a basket at the back. I think it doesn't really matter too much right now because it's early season. I think mainly as long as you have a robot that can effectively score in all of the goals and you have something to get in through the top, because I do think that is huge, being able to go through the top there and D-score. One of the robots that won the tournament had that mechanism on them, and we had another robot that couldn't even score in any blocks other than the low goal, but they had the D score on it, and they still managed to do quite well at the event. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments, how you think the game is going to shape up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe in order to please the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you in the next one.